This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNNLive. We are on location at the CSE in Vancouver, BC, Canada. With me today, Ron Handford from 60 North Gold. It's a publicly traded company. On the CSE, the symbol is SXTY, and on the OTC markets, it's SXNTF. Ron, welcome to SNNLive.
Shelley, thank you for having me today, and we look forward to telling the story to your viewers.
It's good to have you. Let's get started with a brief overview of the company.
60 North Gold is a public company traded on the CSE, which was formed 2 years ago. We're an advanced exploration/development company located about 45 kilometers north of Yellowknife, and we are predominantly focused on gold.
Now, let's get a little history on the company.
The company was formed as a private company 2 years ago, specifically to do an earn-in on the Mongold project. Since then, we have raised about $3 million and done some exploration, including drilling on the project.
So tell our investors a little bit more about the Mongold project.
The Mongold project is a former producer. It's located about 45 kilometers north of Yellowknife in the Northwest Territories, and it's accessible by helicopter in about a 15-minute ride, or we can get in by float plane or ski plane on adjacent lakes, and in the winter we can access it by winter road.
What is unique about this project?
There's a couple of unique things about this project. It is actually a former gold producer. It ran in the 1990s, produced from the narrow vein underground, and the same people that were running it in the 1990s are involved in the operating team now. What also makes us extremely unique is that we have operating permits to do both mining and milling at a rate of 100 tons per day.
Is there a mill on the property?
No, there is not. There was a small mill in the 1990s which was disassembled and moved away. We will be bringing our own mill in the future.
So let's talk about a competitive advantage.
Well, the competitive advantage is we know what the body is to the extent that it's been mined before, and we have the same people. We have no economic projections at this time other than the operating experience of the former producers there. But what we do have is a very good sense from what they did is the continuity. And we've drilled holes below the old stope. We know that the vein continues at least 20 meters beyond where they were mining before. What's the
Track record in this territory?
The track record is really spectacular. This is called the Yellowknife Gold Belt for a very good reason. There's three very big mines historically on the belt from about 40 to 50 kilometers away from us. Down at Yellowknife there was the Conan Giant Mine. They produced about 14 million ounces between them. And up at the north end of the Yellowknife Gold Belt there was the Discovery Mine, which produced about 1 million ounces of gold over 20 years at a grade of about 1 ounce per ton. And our technical report has established that the Mongold mine looks a lot like the Discovery Mine.
What about the track record of your team in the territory?
Well, we have a critical component with Dave Webb and Jerry Hess. They're the owners of New Discovery Mine who own the project. And Dave Webb has done his PhD in geology on the Yellowknife Greenstone Belt and Gold Belt. So he knows this area extremely well. In addition, these gentlemen ran the project in the 1990s, so they've got the direct operating experience on this project.
What's your background?
I'm a bit of a hybrid. I have both an engineering and a banking background, and I've worked from several years as a mining related consultant, and then I was working in the banking industry doing gold mining finance predominantly, including Barclays Bank in Toronto and the International Finance Corporation in Washington, D.C. And for over the last 20 years, I've been doing startup companies in exploration and technology in Vancouver and taking them public.
So with what you can tell me as a public company, what are some growth drivers going forward?
Well, I think right now the growth drivers is very few people know who we are, which is part of our exercise in speaking with you today, which we greatly appreciate. But I think beyond just the awareness and getting investor relations and firms into their databases and getting the news out, there's going to be field exploration from this summer. There's also going to be the underground exploration next year. And once we take out, say, a 1,000-ton bulk sample next year, we'll have a very good idea of what the underground grades are looking like. And I think that will be a very good business and value driver for 60 North Gold.
Ron, let's get your website out there for our investor audience, if you would.
Okay, we are at 60northgold.com. That's 60 spelled out, SIXTY, North Gold. Thank you, Shelley, for having me here today. It's a pleasure speaking with you, and I look forward to the next time.
My pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Handford, 60 North gold. It's SXTY on the CSE and SXNTF on OTC markets in the U.S. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live on location at the CSE in Vancouver, BC, Canada. Thanks again, Ron.
Thank you, sir.
You got it. My pleasure.